Malcolm McDowell is an English actor, known for his boisterous and sometimes villainous roles, whose career spans more than 5 decades. He trained as an actor at the London Academy of Music and Dramatic Art. McDowell is known for the films If, Oh Lucky Man, Caligula and A Clockwork Orange, the last of which earned him a Golden Globe nomination for his portrayal of Alex Delage. He has played varied roles in films and television series of different genres, including The Employer, Tank Girl, Franklin and Bash, Time After Time, Star Trek Generations, the television series Our Friends in the North, Entourage, Heroes, Metalocalypse. He has lent his voice to several animated roles as well, such as Ra's al Ghul's son Arcady Duval in Batman, the animated series, and as Metallo in Superman, the animated series, as well as to the animated film Bolt. He appeared in a music video for the 2009 Slipknot song, Snuff. He narrated the 1982 documentary The Complete Beatles. He received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 2012. Early life. McDowell was born Malcolm John Taylor in Horsforth in the West Riding of Yorkshire. He is the son of Edna, a hotelier, and Charles Taylor, a publican, and was the middle of 3 siblings, with 2 sisters, Gloria and Judy. His family later moved to Bridlington, since his father was in the Royal Air Force. He grew up in Liverpool and worked in his father's pub in Berkshire, Lancashire. He is a fan of Premier League football team Liverpool and spent much of his boyhood on the Kop. McDowell trained as an actor at the London Academy of Music and Dramatic Art. Career. While enrolled in Cannock House School, McDowell began taking acting classes, and eventually secured work as an extra with the Royal Shakespeare Company. He made his film debut as school rebel Mick Travis in If, by British director Lindsay Anderson. This was followed by Figures in a Landscape and The Raging Moon. His performance in If caught the attention of Stanley Kubrick, who cast McDowell as the lead in A Clockwork Orange, adapted from the novel by Anthony Burgess. He won great acclaim as Alex, a young hoodlum brainwashed by the British government in a dystopian future. He worked with Anderson again for Oh Lucky Man, which was inspired by McDowell's experience working as a coffee salesman, and Britannia Hospital. McDowell regularly turned up on British television productions in the 1970s in adaptations of theatre classics. One example being with Laurence Olivier in The Collection, as part of the series Laurence Olivier Presents. He starred in Aces High and co-starred in Voyage of the Damned, and as Dawnford Yates' gentleman hero Richard Chandos in She Fell Among Thieves. He made his Hollywood debut as H.G. Wells in Time After Time. He often portrayed antagonists in the late 1970s and 1980s, including the title character in Caligula. He later remarked upon his career playing film villains, "I suppose I'm primarily known for that, but in fact, that would only be half of my career if I was to tot it all up." In his biography Anthony Burgess, A Life, author Roger Lewis commented on McDowell's later career. His pretty boy looks faded, and he was condemned to playing villains in straight-to-video films that turn up on Channel 5. McDowell appeared in the action film Blue Thunder as F.E. Cochran, and the horror remake Cat People. In 1983, he starred in Get Crazy as Reggie Wanker, a parody of Mick Jagger. Also in 1983, McDowell starred as the wolf in Fairy Tale Theatre's rendition of Little Red Riding Hood. In 1984, he narrated the documentary The Complete Beatles. He is known in Star Trek circles as the man who killed Captain Kirk, appearing in the film Star Trek Generations, in which he played the mad scientist Drive, Tolly and Soren, and several overzealous Star Trek fans even issued death threats for this. McDowell appeared in several computer games, most notably as Admiral Jeffrey Tolwern in the Wing Commander series of computer games. His appearance in Wing Commander 3 marks the series' transition from 2D pre-rendered cutscenes to live-action cutscenes. His appearance in Wing Commander IV was during the final days of video game live-action cutscenes. In 1995, he co-starred with actress and artist Lori Petty in the action, science fiction, comedy film Tank Girl. Here, he played the villain Drive Kesley, the evil director of the global water and power company, whose main goal in the story was to control the planet's entire water supply on a future desert-like, post-apocalyptic Earth. McDowell appeared in an episode of the animated series South Park, which provided a comedic retelling of the Charles Dickens novel Great Expectations. In the episode, McDowell played the real-life narrator of the story in live action, introducing himself simply as a British person. In a parody of Masterpiece Theatre and its ex-host, Alistair Cook, McDowell played himself in Robert Altman's The Player, in which he chastises protagonist Griffin Mill for bad-mouthing him behind his back. He worked with Altman once again for the company as Mr. A, the fictional director of the Joffrey Ballet of Chicago. His character was based on real-life director Gerald Arpino. McDowell had a brief but memorable role as the psychopathic gangster in the British crime film Gangster No. 1. In the film I'll Sleep When I'm Dead, he played a straight married man who rapes a young drug dealer to teach him a lesson. The film also starred Clive Owen as the victim's elder brother. In 2006, McDowell portrayed radio mogul Donna Slaughter on Law & Order: Criminal Intent. The following year, he portrayed the villainous Mr. Lindemann on the first season of the NBC series Heroes, a role he reprised in the third season premiere. He starred in Jerry Was a Man, which appeared as an episode of Masters of Science Fiction on Sky. He portrayed Terence McCulloch on Entourage, and he made a special guest appearance as the icy fashion designer Julian Hodge in the Monk Season 4 episode, Mr. Monk Goes to a Fashion Show. Never Apologizes, a 2007 documentary film of Malcolm McDowell's one-man show about his experiences working with film director Lindsay Anderson. McDowell appeared as Dr. Samuel Loomis in Rob Zombie's remakes of Halloween and Halloween 2. Although the films were not well received critically, they performed better at the box office, and McDowell was widely praised for his performances and for being perfectly cast. He also played Desmond LaRochette in Robert Whitlow's The List, and Irish patriarch Enda Doyle in Red Roses and Petrol. His next film is the Canadian vampire comedy rock and roll film Suck with actor-director Rob Stefanuk and the upcoming Alex Wright film Two Wolves. In December 2009, he made an appearance in the music video, Snuff by the band Slipknot. He appears, uncredited, as Lombardi, the curator, in the film The Book of Ye. McDowell portrayed Satan in the Christian comedy thriller film Suing the Devil. In 2011, McDowell was also cast in the role of Stanton in Feld on the TNT original series Franklin and Bash. In 2012, McDowell appeared in Vamps and Silent Hill: Revelation, as well as in the Academy Award-winning film The Artist. In March 2012, he received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, aptly outside the Pig N Whistle British pub on Hollywood Boulevard. His fellow British actor Gary Oldman was in attendance and paid tribute to McDowell for inspiring him to become an actor. In 2013, he appeared as the title character in the psychological thriller The Employer, for which he won Best Actor at the Los Angeles Movie Awards. In 2013, McDowell also ventured into the steampunk genre, starring in the short film Cowboys and Engines alongside Richard Hatch and Walter Koenig. In 2013, he starred as King Henry II in the film Richard the Lionheart, with Gregory Chandler as the title character. In March 2015, Rob Zombie confirmed that McDowell will portray Father Murder in his upcoming film 31. Voice acting: McDowell was the featured narrator in the documentary, The Complete Beatles, released in 1982. He has lent his voice to Lord Mallis in Happily Ever After, the Superman villain Metallo in Superman, the animated series, Mad Mod in Teen Titans, Merlin in DC Showcase, Green Arrow, Arcady Duval in Batman, the animated series, and as the voice of a Death Star commander in a Robot Chicken episode parodying Star Wars. He is also a regular on the second season of the Adult Swim cartoon Metalocalypse as Vader Orlog and other characters. McDowell also voiced Drive, Calico in Disney's Bolt. McDowell also lent his voice to the henchman Rhesus 2 in the animated series Captain Simeon and the Space Monkeys, a show laced with references to many movies including his own breakthrough role in A Clockwork Orange. In 2006-07, he contributed spoken word to 2 Pink Floyd tribute albums produced by Billy Sherwood, Back Against the Wall and Return to the Dark Side of the Moon. In 2008, McDowell began a recurring role as Grandpa Fletcher on Phineas and Ferb. He also narrated the award-winning documentary Blue Gold, World Water Wars. McDowell reprised his role of Metallo in the video game Superman, Shadow of Apocalypse and an episode of Justice League Unlimited. He also provided his voice for the character President John Henry Eden in the video game Fallout 3, Rupert Pelham in the game Wet, King Solomon in the Word of Promise audio Bible, and the CEO of Stahl Arms in Killzone 3, Johan Stahl. He also voiced Daedalus in God of War 3. He is the voice for the primary antagonist Malag Bal in the MMO The Elder Scrolls Online. McDowell portrays the role of Caiaphas in the Truth and Life dramatized audio New Testament Bible, a 22-hour, celebrity-voiced, fully dramatized audio New Testament which uses the RSVCE translation. Each month, a new episode is available for download, and scripts, as used by McDowell and the supporting actors, are also available at the Fangoria website. Personal life. McDowell's first wife was actress and publicist Margot Bennett. His second wife was actress Mary Steenburgen, whom he met and fell in love with while filming Time After Time. They had 2 children together, Lily Amanda and Charles Malcolm, but divorced in 1990. His third wife is Kelly Kerr, 24 years his junior, with whom he has 3 sons, Beckett Taylor, Finian Anderson, and Seamus Hudson. He is the maternal uncle of actor Alexander Siddig. He and his nephew both appeared in the film Doomsday by director Neil Marshall. The McDowells currently live in Ojai, California. He became a grandfather in January 2012 when daughter Lily McDowell Walton gave birth to a girl, Clementine May. Filmography. If figures in a landscape. The Raging Moon, A Clockwork Orange, Oh Lucky Man. Also writer, Royal Flash, Voyage of the Damned, Aces High, Laurence Olivier Presents, The Collection, Caligula, The Passage, Time After Time, Look Back in Anger, Britannia Hospital, Cat People, Blue Thunder, Cross Creek, Fairy Tale Theatre's Little Red Riding Hood, Get Crazy, The Complete Beatles, Arthur the King, Gulag, Monte Carlo, The Caller, Buy and Sell, Sunset, Mortici, Il Maestro, Jezebel's Kiss, Schweitzer, Class of 1999, Moon 44, Disturbed, In the Eye of the Snake, Maggio Musicale, Happily Ever After, The Assassin of the Tsar, Tales from the Crypt, The Reluctant Vampire, The Player, Chain of Desire, Vent Dest, Bofa, Night Train to Venice, Captain Planet and the Planeteers, Wing Commander 3, Heart of the Tiger, The Man Who Wouldn't Die, Cyborg 3, The Recycler, Star Trek Generations, Seasons of the Heart, Milk Money, Dangerous Indiscretion, Exquisite Tenderness, Tank Girl, Fist of the North Star, Kids of the Round Table, Spider-Man, The Great War and the Shaping of the 20th Century, Ringer, Wing Commander IV, The Price of Freedom, Our Friends in the North, The Little Riders, Yesterday's Target, Where Truth Lies, Wing Commander Academy, Pearl, Superman, The Animated Series, Asylum, 2103, The Deadly Wake, Hugo Pool, Mr. Magoo, Lex, Fantasy Island, The Fairy King of R, The Gardener, Fatal Pursuit, The First 9.5 Weeks, Can of Worms, Southern Cross, Love Lies Bleeding, My Life So Far, Y2K, The David Cassidy Story, Saint Patrick, The Irish Legend, Gangster No. 1, Island of the Dead, South Park, Stanley Kubrick, A Life in Pictures, Princess of Thieves, Just Visiting, The Void, Firestarter 2, Rekindled, Shadow Realm, Between Strangers, Superman, Shadow of Apocalypse, I Spy, The Barber, I'll Sleep When I'm Dead, Tempo, Inhabited, The Company, Red Roses and Petrol, Pact with the Devil, Hidalgo, Evalenko, Bobby Jones, A Stroke of Genius, Tempesta, Pinocchio 3000, Chalk Zone, In Good Company, Dinotopia, Quest for the Ruby Sunstone, Entourage, Ragtail, Mirror Wars, Reflection 1, The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, Monk, Bye Bye Benjamin, Law and Order, Criminal Intent, The Curse of King Tut's Tomb, Cut Off, Heroes, The List, Exits, Never Apologize, Robot Chicken, Star Wars, Halloween, Metalocalypse, War and Peace, Phineas and Ferb, Doomsday, Delgo, Coco Chanel, Fallout 3, Bolt, The Evening Journey, Blue Gold, World Water Wars, Bolt, Super Rhino, Command and Conquer, Red Alert 3 Uprising, Halloween 2, Suck, Wet, Snuff by Slipknot, The Book of E, Barry Monday, Pound of Flesh, Golf in the Kingdom, Hero Factory, IZA, Santiago Files, God of War 3, Green Arrow, The Mentalist, Tom and Jerry Meet Sherlock Holmes, Franklin and Bash, Killzone 3, The Artist, Psych, Suing the Devil, Silent Hill, Revelation 3D, Kung Fu Panda, Legends of Awesomeness, The High Fructose Adventures of Annoying Orange, Antiviral, Metalocalypse, Vamps, CSI, Miami, Excision, Home Alone, The Holiday Heist, Silent Night, The Employer, Community, First Platoon, Richard the Lionheart, Metalocalypse, The Doomstar Requiem, Sanitarium, Some Kind of Beautiful, Mozart in the Jungle, The Elder Scrolls Online, Tbilisi, I Love You, Hashtag New Gore Order, Kids vs. Monsters, Nick and Snip, 31.